Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Hobby Night. I am Angela, and today in our hobby live stream, we are going to be painting some more Star Wars Legion. I have my models here that I've been working on. Let me see if I can I zoom in a little bit more? There we go. Now you guys can see him. So I have my Star Wars Legion models I've been working on. He's looking pretty clean. I want to do one small inspection of him before we get started here today. But my plan is to try to get a little bit more work done on these models. He's looking pretty good. I didn't notice anything where like there might be some color tones that I don't want, especially, oh, actually a little bit right there. So we'll get that. But on him, I don't actually think I properly finished his cleanup step. I noticed some stuff underneath on the trim. So we're going to take care of that really quick before we actually move on to putting some color on them. Let me also see if I can keep them. Oh, they're going to magnetize together. Ah! We don't want that. We don't want that because they'll just slam together and then fall over. And that would be very, very bad. Hello, Michael. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a lovely day today, sir. Let me know what projects you might be working on today alongside me, or if you're just hanging out.
I have to sort this out on my own.
You do, Ahsoka. It's fine.
Without the council.
Let's see, I'm just going to use one of these brushes because we're just doing a little bit of cleanup with some white paint, so I'm not super worried about it. However, I should probably, I don't know, be a sane person and shake the paint before we get started. It's a nice ASMR of paint sloshing around in a bottle. Let me know, by the way, if the music sounds good, if it's too loud, if it's too soft, if I sound good. We've done one stream with the M50 setup, but it's only been the one, so I just want to still make sure everything is good. Also, that you guys can see everything well, because that is incredibly important to me. You are looking good. Where did I see? There it is.
I can't stay here any longer.
I just want to take care of that a little bit. And then there was a little on the head. That was where it was. I am doing super well, James. How are you doing today? And I see, as you are somebody in the UK, did you happen to go to Warhammer Fest this past week? Because I think it's over now, right? It ended on Monday? I'm so jealous. I really wanted to go. I forget when I'm zoomed in. I gotta be a little bit more paid attention to where my, where I'm actually positioned on the table. But hopefully this is nice for you guys and you get a little bit of a better look of what I'm actually doing. I really like this lo-fi station that I found last time we were working on some Lego. It's just super good. I like these kind of chill vibes though. There we go. That's looking a little bit better. Slightly better angle for me to see. I'm just trying not to get too much of like actually, hitting the gray that I've already put down. But all this is going to end up being yellow to be sort of goldish. And I don't really want too much of that gray color tone showing through. So that's why I'm being a little bit more particular about this than I normally would. Especially for a troop. I'm also just, honestly, I really like these models. I keep coming back to them for that reason. I'm hoping they do look amazing, so I'm hoping that the ones that we're going to get for Shatterpoint are just as fun to paint, because these are always very engaging to paint. They've always done a really good job with the designs for Star Wars, so it makes them interesting. Just realized I completely missed his entire face in this cleanup step, so we'll take care of that now. I need to look at my reference and actually what they do. Okay, it is still gold that they do on the faceplates for these guys. You know what I'm actually really looking forward to painting though, and if you watch today's news episode, you probably know what my answer is going to be. But it's definitely the new Tyranids. They look so freaking good. Like, I just love all of the new designs. I think they're fantastic. Love how chonky everything's become. Oh, you're gonna... You know what, James? I completely understand. Games Expo is an equally amazing convention that I'm jealous that you're getting to go to and I do not, because holy cow, I think that would be stunning to be able to go to Games Expo. Not just because I could probably meet my friends at No Rules Barred there, but also just because, like, I like gaming conventions. They're really freaking cool. And that one should be really fun. You'll have to tell me about it if you do end up going. I heard that Warhammer Fest was, like, insanely packed. That it took, like, hours to do anything just because of all the lines and everything. So, while I am sad I didn't go, I'm also not terribly sad because it does sound like a little bit of a pain. But, you know, it would have been cool to see some of those things announced, like, in person. Alright, I think he's looking better now. I'm gonna bring him off camera for a second. I need to look at something a little closer because I can't see it from the distance I was holding him. Also, enjoy Palpatine whispering into your ear. Because I'm pretty sure he just told me to do it or something. I am Palpatine, I'm painting. I'm going as fast as I can, man. Alright, if I... Whoop, whoop. Will you focus? Will you focus? Focus, please. There we go. Sometimes takes it a minute. Do it! Oh my god. I hope we get some other Night Sisters. Like, I really hope that the Night Sister from the new Jedi game ends up getting turned into a miniature that I could paint up, because she's really cool. I like her design a lot. But I also have a thing for, like, characters with white hair. Just have always had a thing for characters with white hair. It's a little bit of green on that gun. That's unacceptable. Alright. Alright, I'm feeling a lot better about him. We have one little thing on his shoulder here that I need to take care of because I got some purple where I don't think I wanted it. So we're just going to take care of that real quick. Are we out of focus again? We are. You can do it, camera. I believe in you. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now he's in focus. Just have to be zoomed all the way in because he's so small. That is why we put the camera back on, though, because, like, look how much crisper this is. Hello, Sarah Games! Welcome to the stream. I feel like it's been a little while since I've seen you in chat. But I probably just missed you because I am sometimes terrible about keeping up with my chat, and I apologize for that. So sorry. But hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am super looking forward to the NIDS. Oh, the free cities look amazing. I have a video going out tomorrow that is covering my reactions to the Horus Heresy releases, the Age of Sigmar releases, the Underworld, and basically all of the Age of Sigmar related products. And then, of course, the reveal that we got for the Old World. And I'm not gonna lie, I cried. Like, in the video. Tears ran down my face because I was just so excited. This lo-fi station is called Star Wars Lo-Fi. If you just put Star Wars Lo-Fi into YouTube, you will find it. It has a picture of, or it's got a little animation of Ahsoka sitting at a window working on a computer, reading a bunch of stuff in Arabish. And then she's got one of those little, what are those cat creatures with the large ears and the spindly legs? They're in Rebels. They're like sand. I think they're like in a desert or whatever, but it's that cat. Loth cats, that's what it is. Right, because it's from Lothal, where Ezra's from. Right. Yeah, so it's got a Loth cat in there, and it's really cute. It's a good lo-fi station, in my opinion. One of my actual favorites. That's why I keep putting it on. Greetings, John. Welcome to the stream. James, you better take lots of photos for me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, Games Expo is one of those cons, and Wet Warhammer Fest also are both one that I want to go to. I expect it'll be more likely that I'll end up at like something like Adepticon sooner than I end up at those ones, just because Adepticon's in the US and the other ones are not, and it's harder for me to get there. And I don't think I currently have a valid passport, actually, now that I think about it. I think it expired during the pandemic, and I just never got a new one, so I'll have to go get that before I can do any kind of travel. But I am looking forward to, like, eventually one day maybe doing some traveling a bit more. It's really difficult for me to do it because I have, with my cats, both of them are older and they've gotten very used to having us around, and they were always a little bit codependent in that way. Whenever we would travel previously, we'd always have to get somebody to like physically be here with them because otherwise they get super stressed out and just start peeing on everything. And I don't know how they would deal with that with us being older or them being older, sorry. And like just having been used to us being around for like 3 years straight, always. It'd just be really weird. But one day. I disagree. I mean, the Loath Wolves are cool. I agree. Also, Kanan turned into one. I'm so sad. I hope we get some flashbacks in Ahsoka. I say that every time I'm working on anything Star Wars because I really desperately need it to be true. I need to get your feet. Don't hit the purple. Don't hit the purple. Don't hit the purple. I don't. You know what? I'm just gonna make his shoes black, and not worry about it, and let them be dark and unseen because I got too much purple on him, and I don't want to try to rip him off of his base. Okay, I'm feeling good with how that is looking. Let me check my boy here. This guy, I need to use a little bit of black paint on before we go on to the yellow. So we're going to let him finish drawing, and we're going to pull out some black paint and start working on this other lad. Where is my Black Templar? The Black Templar? Haha! Found it. I know how I've stored my paints. This is why I keep them organized. This is why you should organize your desk and keep it tidy, so you can find your paints fast. Oh my gosh, Sarah, I'm so sorry to hear that your PC died last week. That sucks. Hopefully you were able to get it... Oh, okay, at least you were able to get a new one. I'm so sorry, man. That sucks. Having a computer die on you, like, is never fun. And it always feels super expensive, especially when it's, like, unexpected, you know? Come on, you were focused before. What are you doing? Alright, basically, we need to paint... It looks like the majority of his, like, legs in black, so let's just get that. I'm loving the jazz. Have any of you guys, tried to grab any of the new Star Wars Lego sets? Hello, the MFN Papa Cheese. How are you doing today? I am doing supremely well. Have been painting some Legion. Been talking a little bit about the new 40K releases. Been excited about the new Lego releases. Like I just asked if anybody has grabbed any for themselves. I certainly did. As somebody who is a little bit of a Lego fiend at this point, I had to grab some of those new Star Wars pieces. Very excited about it. Can't remember if we got anything else other than the Star Wars ones. I don't think so. I haven't listened to a single word Darth Vader has said. I just hear him breathing dramatically in my ear. Oh, is he talking to Padme? Aw, so sad. Michael, you saw the new Mario movie last week. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard really mixed reviews about it. I've heard that if you go into it expecting it to be a movie based off of a video game and just being kind of campy fun, that you'll absolutely love it. But if you're going in expecting, like, I don't know, something other than that, then you'll be disappointed. Which I just am going in expecting campy fun. I mean, it's a Mario movie. I don't know what else you would expect. But I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed it. It's definitely on my list of things to go watch. What did I go see recently? I saw something in theaters recently, which is rare for me. I actually don't go to the movies very often. And I can't remember what it was. It was something... Was it sci-fi or fantasy? I do not freaking remember. I enjoyed it, whatever it was. If I recall correctly. Like, I don't remember disliking it. I don't know. I did get the Emperor's Throne Room. I got the Emperor's Throne Room, and I also got the Endor one, because I think it looks good. I know there's some people who are like, I don't like it, the trees aren't big enough or whatever, but I think for what it is and everything, I enjoyed it. And also I'm a collector, so I felt like I had to. I didn't actually feel like I had to, I genuinely wanted it. But I'll always use that as an excuse, because I find it funny. Okay, the insides, let's set you down there, friend. Okay, I think his pants are also black, so we're gonna keep this going up. Note to self, Angela, when next time that you build your Legion minis, maybe don't glue them to their bases. They actually really want you to get up underneath them, and it makes it kind of difficult. There we go, got that. I'm concentrating for a second. I'm trying to be a little bit clean. Oh boy. I still can't think of what the heck I went and saw. Chaos Cultist, what did we go see a movie of recently? Dungeons and Dragons, that's right. I was like, I know it was a big, like, brand thing. I just couldn't remember. Yeah, the Dungeons and Dragons film. That's what I saw recently. I thought that was pretty good. I actually found it really fun. Oh, did your nieces love it? Like, I hope so. Like, that's... I mean, does seem like a film kind of geared a little bit more towards family audiences than just, like, purely an adult audience. Which I think is what people were expecting, I guess. Maybe they thought it was gonna be, like, adult or something. And I'm like, no, it's Mario. Like, it's gonna be campy and fun, right? Like, it's Mario. I know they sometimes go dark and everything, but, like, it is still meant for kids. Alright, let's get this section, because this also kind of looks like it's meant to be black. And I'm gonna be a little sloppy here, because I'll clean it up. I'd rather get into all of the crevices with the black properly, and then just do a cleanup stage to get it back white for the trim we're gonna do. Because we're gonna have to let them dry anyways. Alright, that is looking pretty swell. I think I'm just going to paint the inside of this black to not have it be white. And also that is technically part of the jacket, so I'm going to go for it. Oh god, I just made a big blob of black paint on where I don't want it, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I'll be able to clean it up. And then because that has dried and I got a little bit of smudging, so let's thin some paint down and spread that out so it doesn't look as blotchy. There. There we go. There we go. I am feeling better about that. I'm going to set him aside now. Just let him dry. I'm going to start touching him so I don't spread paint around in ways that I don't want to, and I'm going to let him dry. and check in with chat. I really like the gameplay for Star Wars Legion. So unlike, say, Warhammer 40k 9th edition, it relies more on cards for what you're ended up, how you basically like activate your characters and everything, which is similar to, I believe, how Shatterpoint's going to end up doing it. And I personally enjoy that. I think it works pretty well for a war game, since there's already a back and forth anyways, you know? But I've only played it a couple times, so I can't really speak in great depth about the gameplay for Legion, especially the more updated rules, because I know that they've had other characters come out with more advanced rules and everything, and I've only played with not the original starter set. I actually played with, I've played with the Clone War starter set, which was one of the more modern ones, but it's definitely not like the most recent product that they've come out with. For the bases for these guys, I am probably... I don't know what I'm going to do for their bases, actually. Darth Maul, I think I just did a sort of deserty, like not Tatooine style, but like a Dunes style desert design. And Luke was on a Hoth planet, so he had that. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do for him, like for these guys specifically. Maybe something with like a black earth. I need something that contrasts with them to help them stand out. That's what I end up doing for bases when I pick things if I don't have a specific planet that I want them to be from. And since I've already glued them down to the bases, I don't want to like try ripping them off and doing, say, like green stuff work where I do like, because I have some rolling pins to do like some cool patterns and everything, and I just don't want to, I don't want to try to break him off. I'm worried I'm going to break the miniature because I glued him down pretty strongly. Oh, nice. You played in a tournament recently where the Rebels won? That sounds fun. Okay, we're going to pull out some Iron Jaws now, and we're going to actually start working on him and get that yellow done, because I've been only trying to do this for like 3 months. And it's taken me way too long. So let's go ahead, pop this paint open. I've just spent some time shaking it. I'm going to get one of my thinner brushes. This one will work, from God Hand. Get a little bit of paint onto my palette. We don't need too much. We're going to be going pretty thin on this. And let's go ahead. And I'm going to start with the trim here. And I'm going to work in sections. I have found, and this goes for any, especially lighter colored paint, but really just contrast paints in general, you want to work with them in sections because of the way that the paint dries and moves. If you end up going, like, trying to do, say, like, this big flat area, and then transitioning down into here because you have excess paint that you need to move off of this area, this could end up getting splotchy because you didn't fully finish it. So do it in sections and finish that section before you move on. And I often also suggest letting everything dry first, because good Lord, I've gone back in myself sometimes and completely borked some stuff because I didn't let a certain color dry soon enough. And I didn't realize it. Like, I was like, oh, this looks dry. Everything should be fine. And then it wasn't. And then I smeared paint, and I was able to recover it. This was not for a tutorial, thankfully. But I was pretty upset. Hello, Mr. J. Welcome to the stream. Also, David, welcome. No problem, sir. You don't need to apologize. You can stop into the stream at any time that you like. I understand that work is a thing that you gotta do. And that is cool. That is totally fine. I am loving the way that this looks next to this purple. It's incredibly vivid. Holy shit. Let's be very delicate. We really don't want to get this anywhere we don't want it. Which seems like, you know, fairly logical, but sometimes you just gotta say it. You gotta say it aloud to yourself so that you remember. It's delicate trim, and I'm worried. Oh, nice. The Ewoks are coming in a set. That'll be fun. They choose really interesting characters for Legion, and I am convinced it is a licensing reason why they do some characters over others. Because Legion really, in my opinion, has focused very heavily on a lot of the, like, movies, specifically. They've gone in a little bit to, say, like, Rebels characters, because you have, like, Agent Callus, and you've got Sabine Wren, and, hold on, I got a little bit yellow. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's looking better. Sorry, I got a little bit of yellow into the gray, and it was starting to look green to me, and I didn't want to dry too fast. But as I was saying, for Legion, they end up, like, they don't have a lot of Clone Wars characters, for example, specifically. Like, they have a Rex, and I think there's a Cody, because... Actually, I don't know if there's a Rex. I think there's only a Cody, because you have, Cody in the movies. But I don't think Rex was in the movies, actually, now that I think about it. You know, I actually just watched episode 4 for the first time in... When was I when I first watched it? I was in Virginia. So it would have been... I was young. I was pretty young. So it's been a long time. Because I think I, like, watched it once and then never again. And Chaos Cultist and I put it on recently because we were talking about how it had been like 15 years or something ridiculous like that since I'd seen it. And I really did not remember it well. It also gave me a little bit of a better appreciation for how much planning Lucas actually did in those early days to set certain things up, which is pretty cool. Do 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 do. There's a scene in the movie, actually, now that I think about it. Rex is there? Okay. I wasn't sure if he was or not. I couldn't, like, I know he's in the Clone Wars cartoon, but I couldn't remember if he was in the movie. But it makes sense that he probably would be. Hello, Rabbit Burner. Welcome to the stream, sir. Or ma'am, I actually don't know. Welcome to the stream. Oh, well, thank you. I really enjoy the color of my hair as well. It's a mix of purple fading into blue. This is hashtag not sponsored. Although, Overtone, if you want to sponsor me, holy moly, I would take that. But I use a product called Overtone, and it is just a lovely wash-in conditioner that you can refresh daily if you want, or however often that you like. And I find that it sticks really, really well. And makes my hair soft, which is nice. Oh, was he? Okay. Rex was the first Republic character available outside of the starters. Okay, so he was just a really, really early release. Maybe that's why I haven't seen him specifically, because I don't know if I have that one. So the fact that they haven't put Ahsoka in Legion, like, blows my mind. And that's what I mean, where I feel like they have weird licensing things, because it really feels like they're not using certain characters, but others. Whereas with Shatterpoint, it seems completely focused on just the Clone Wars characters. Which I'm fine with, because I love the Clone Wars. It's my favorite period. I mean, they are going to be having some slimmed down 40k rules with the new edition. So hopefully with 10th, you'll be able to enjoy it a little bit more and get back into the game maybe. Or jump into it the first time if it is. your first time with 40k. But yeah, they are slimming down the rules. And I've heard decent things from people coming from Warhammer Fest who actually were able to give it a try. It's just one of those things that, like, I really want to try it for myself, you know? There's so much hearsay, so much, like, opinion out there, and I just don't know, like, what it's actually going to end up running like. Do I have a least favorite faction, Bjorn, in 40k? You know, honestly, no. I mean, my least favorite faction, I guess, would be... Okay. I'm genuinely trying to think if I have a least favorite faction. I guess it would just be, in regards to hobbyist perspective, I don't enjoy painting Space Marines. So, in that sense, Space Marines, I guess, would be my least favorite. But in regards to, like, lore and gameplay style, I've not tried enough different factions actually in gameplay to be like, oh yeah, I really dislike this style. I am fearful of running something, say, like Drukhari, or even just standard Eldar. Anything that is fast, which is one of the reasons that you don't actually see me running a Slanesh army. Normally, I like a bit more tanky and a little bit more castle-like maneuvers. I'm a defensive player. I like healing and I like defense. And so, which is why I ended up going with Death Guard, because they fit that perfectly. They don't heal so much, but they're so tanky that they last a lot longer, so they feel like they're being kept alive just on the field longer. And they do, like, a lot of their stuff synergizes with being sort of castle-y. So that's why I ended up going with them. But, so I guess in that regard, my least favorite factions are the fast glass cannon factions, because I just don't enjoy that playstyle, because I don't feel like I'm very competent at it. But otherwise, I don't know if I really have, like, a least favorite. I like all of them. I just like some of them way more than others. But I don't really actively dislike one, if that makes sense. Oh, this is the award ceremony music. I was like, what is this song? And then I'm like, oh, right, when they give the medals to not Chewie. How dare they? Disrespecting the Wookiees. So disrespectful to the Wookiees. Oh, Rabbit Burner, I'm really glad that you enjoyed my reactions to the 40k news. You'll love my reactions tomorrow, because I freak out even more and even cry during one of the segments, because I'm just so pleased with what we got, and I'm really excited for you guys to see that. It'll be coming out tomorrow at 9 a.m., just like normal. A little bit of bonus news for you this week, just because there was so much that came out from Warhammer Fest. Good lord. What was your favorite thing? Everybody in chat. Everybody who is in chat, what was your favorite thing from the Warhammer 40k specifically reveals at Warhammer Fest? And that includes Kill Team, the 10th edition starter set, the Space Marine Heroes. What did you like most? I'm expecting most people to be like, we're just excited for 10th edition, give it to us now. But I mean, the Kill Team box set was pretty freaking great looking, so I'm curious. The style of Space Marine helmet with the beak is the Mark, I want to say 4, but it could also be 6. I think it's 4 though. And that is the best Space Marine helmet. And frankly, I like what GW's doing with their more modern Space Marine designs, because I feel like they're bringing a little bit of that uniqueness back. My problem with them is they got so annoyingly clean looking, and it kind of bothered me. Like, I wanted them to be a bit more ornate, I guess. I wanted the pomp of the empirical religion to show up more in their designs. And I feel like they're getting back to that a little bit, which I enjoy. Staring at this going, is it yellow enough? Did I miss any place? And I think I did. I think I missed this entire strip. I think that looks good. What do you guys think? Are you seeing any white in the yellow sections? I don't think I am. But I've been staring at it for so long now that I can't tell anymore. My eyes are going sideways. But I think it looks good. So I think I'm going to move on. I'll come back. I'll check it in a second when I have looked at something else for a little bit. So I'm going to try to do the big flat part now. And I'm just going to clean this brush, get a different one. Those nids do look fabulous. I completely agree. The new nids are absolutely up there for me as the favorite thing when it comes to the 40K reveals. I just think they all look so fun to paint. I just realized I have no water myself. I have water for my paintbrushes, but not for me. Here, I'm gonna zoom us out. Whoop, 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 look. There we go. Zoomed out a little bit. I will be right back. I'm just gonna grab myself a glass of water because I'm feeling a little parched from all the talking, but it's not gonna take me more than a few seconds, so I'm not gonna switch you to the be right back. I'm just gonna leave you here and let you listen to some lo-fi, and I'll be right back in a second. Michael, I am also looking forward to the old world returning. That was the segment I cried during. I was just so happy. I was so pleased with seeing it. Like I said, it's gonna be a treat tomorrow for that video. There's a lot to talk about and a lot of different reactions and everything, and it's just Bretonnians and Tomb Kings, yay! I mean, it's really, I feel like the factions that I hear everybody say that they want back, like everyone. I have not met a single person who hasn't wanted at least one or the other to return, if not both. So I'm not super surprised, but it is kind of funny. Can I feel like, whoa. All right, let's zoom back in. Ooh. There we go. See him in all of his glory. All right, let's. How do I do this? How do I? I think this direction. All right, are you guys ready? I am prepared. Yes, yes, Simon, I did. I got the Endor set. I got the Darth Vader's, or is it the throne room? I got the throne room. I got a couple of the. I got one, I think, of the Mandalorian fighter versus the snub fighter. I think I got like a snub fighter itself. I got a bunch of the promos and stuff. So I got like, I did like 3 orders. So I'm getting like 3 each of all of the promos. So I'm gonna have so many of those tiny X-Wings and tiny Death Stars, as well as the coins. But yeah, I did. I went ahead and we bought a bunch of things. Of course we did. It's Star Wars Lego. We have a problem. Okay, I'm gonna do this real quick, and then I see some other people have added some comments, so I'll get to those in just a second. But let me do this. I'm nervous, so. That looks good. Let's do the back. Thankfully, this yellow is actually kind of forgiving, which is one of the reasons I like iron draws so much. Okay. Now we're going to go to the other side. Still being delicate, but maybe a little bit more confident.
Do or do not.
There is no try. I'm trying, Yoda. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm doing Yoda. I'm doing it. Okay, that is looking good. Let's keep going, keep going. Hold on. Okay. I think that is in a good enough state to let it dry. And then come back in and maybe do a little bit of touch up. But I'm liking the way that that is going. So, with that taken care of, let me actually get back to this. All right, James, you said that your only problem with Warhammer is the price. You just have to have control when you select what you want. I completely understand. Like, I've actually significantly reduced how much Warhammer I've been buying for the exact same reason. Because it is really expensive. I mean, it is unfortunately, I mean, we are talking about a war game, which is a luxury hobby. So we do have to sort of deal with that, but it is sometimes a little excessively expensive, depending on what set you're buying, which is why I tend to only buy when they do these big box sets, if possible, because that is almost always going to be your best value to quantity of items you're getting from them to dollar you're having to spend on it. It is almost inherently the best option. Supersonic, hello, how are you today, sir? I hope you are doing well, and I am doing absolutely wonderfully. Thank you so much for asking. Rabbit Burner, you were saying that you're not a fan of painting, but you're still painting your Aragorn, or your Angron, sorry. But I'm helping. Thank you. Oh, well, you are so kind, sir. I'm glad I am able to help. I understand. Sometimes painting just isn't for everybody. The nice thing is because it is an art and you can take it at your own pace, you don't have to feel pressured to try to get things done at other people's speed or even to their quality if you don't want to, because it's what makes you happy and how you want to do things. So just keep working at it, man, and eventually you'll get that Angron finished, and you'll be, hopefully, very happy with it when you do. Nice, Simon! Woo, woo! I always, I've done that for the last couple of big LEGO promos that they've done. I have gone in, well, I haven't specifically, Chaos Cultist has done it for me, but we've gone in and we've done, multiple purchases in order to get a variety of the promos, because why wouldn't you? I did that actually, especially during the Blacktron point. So I have a couple of those, and there's a few that I have unopened. I don't know if I'm going to parts them or keep them sealed to potentially, Chaos Cultist is telling me we're keeping them sealed. So eventually means that we'll probably, resell them. Who knows? But, it's an investment. Ooh, Sarah Games. That sounds delicious. Five Guys for dinner? I do love Five Guys. They have some pretty decent burgers. I'm not always fond of their fries. But I think that's partially just because their fries don't deliver always the best. And I've also just had some terrible delivery services with Uber with them, ordering from Five Guys, because the drivers just took forever.
They're for trading.
They're for trading. Oh, see, they're for trading.
Which is different than selling.
Yes. Yes, it is. It is. Because then I'm getting just other Lego for it rather than monies. And you know what? I'm happy with that. I actually would totally, I approve. This has the boss's stamp of approval. I am not actually the boss. I just like to pretend that I'm the boss, but I am not. Yeah, Bjorn? Well, if you have something to trade, maybe we can discuss it. Pigwin, what's crack-a-lackin'? Well, nothing, except... Oh, I was really hoping I could get a knuckle crack and then, like, crack it into the mic and then be like, just my knuckles! But, they're pop-free right now. Is that a... That is a terrible line of white, excuse me. Thankfully, this is dried enough that I think I can get back to working on it. Whoop. Come on. There we go. Oh my god, I cannot tell you how nice it is to finally have this yellow trim being worked on this dude. I have been sitting on this for months. And not for 4 months, but actually 5 months. It's been a lot of months. Smooth that. Okay. Alright, that is looking better. Okay, that is good. Now, what is the color of the crown on your head? I don't actually know if it's a crown specifically, but it's kind of what it looks like. It is also gold. Lovely. Then let's just use a little bit of this paint then on it. And what I'm actually going to do for this, because if you actually look at art of this particular character, I can't remember his name. It's like, I want to say it starts with a V, but I can't remember specifically, and I don't want to try saying it and butchering it. So I think that for this prince here, he actually has like, this is a different gold color tone than the gold of his actual outfit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of Reichland's Flesh Shade to give the gold on his head a little bit more of a non-metallic gold finish, which will help differentiate it and make it stand out a bit more, I think. But this way we can still just use that same color for both sections and just manipulate them to be different, which I really like doing. Nice, Simon! I've actually built one of the Blacktron. I ended up with like... Did we build 2 of them? So we had 4 total. Ah, we have 5 total, and so we built 2 of them. Oh, that's right, we did give a 6th one away to a friend. Yeah, so when the Blacktron came out, I did 6 orders. I actually think 2 of them we may have gotten at a store, because they were still doing the promo at one point, but at least 4 of them came from some online orders. Because we have problems. I am completely off screen. Sorry about that. There we go. Needs a little bit of yellow there. And then a little bit of yellow here. There we go. It's looking good. No problem, David. Thank you for swinging by while you could. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. And that you have pleasant dreams. And that Zinch doesn't come and eat them. That feels like a thing he would do. I don't actually know if he would, but it feels like something he would do. Okay. I believe that's done. We need to do the underside of the shoulder pits. Which aren't really going to be seen, but I do just want to have them filled in correctly. And what if he gets knocked over dramatically as he dies? Then they would be exposed. So we got to make sure it's covered in paint. All right, there we go. That side's done. Let's do the other side. Dude, Andy, you should totally get your Maul and B1 commandos built. I've painted up Maul. He's a really fun one to work on. Which of the Mauls do you have? Do you have the one from the Shadow Collective, or do you have the one that came as like the solo operative pack? I don't actually remember when that one came out, but I think it's an older one, and I have both, just for the record. So whichever one, it doesn't matter. I think they're both fantastic. Maul is absolutely my favorite character in Star Wars, by far. I love him so much. He's so good. He's just too good. I think it's because it's how tragic he is. He's just a sad character. And he was given no choices. Shit. Shit. A little bit. Let's see if I can do something. I have a little bit of a staining that I don't want. Yes. Cool. I smoothed that down. It has a... I don't think it's left too much of a spot. I'm just gonna see if I can blend it in a little bit. Smooth it out. Okay, that's looking a little better. And then what I want to do is kind of recreate the same thing on the other side. So it looks intentional. Okay, yep, that is feeling good. I am really liking that. So now I'm gonna get this little trim right here on the back of his outfit. Oh man, Bjorn, that is dangerous knowledge to know that you work at a toy store now. First of all, congratulations if it's a new job. That is very, very exciting. What kind of toy store is it? Is it like a Toys R Us style toy store where they just have like a variety of everything? Or is it more like this is meant for very young kids or like teenagers? Or I guess the range of like 8 to teenager. I'm curious. Oh, I've heard of Mythic Americas, actually. I've seen some of the models for those, if I remember correctly. I don't remember which faction it was. It may have been the Incans, actually. It might have been actually a couple different ones. Because that is all, if I remember correctly, Mythic Americas is the one that is all based off of, like, ancient American cultures, right? So, like, Incans and, like, other Native Americans and everything like that. Which always seemed really cool. Pedro Ruiz, I am very excited for 10th edition. I am curious to see how it's actually going to play. Like, I haven't looked at all of the most recent rules releases that they've had for it, but there are some things that I'm like, I'm hoping that this ends up working out well. It seems like it could, but it also seems like it has the potential of being, I don't know, maybe not as good as I think it is. And so I really would just want to get my hands on the book, actually give it a play so that I can really be like, okay, do I like this or not? I'm optimistic though. I'm trying to remain optimistic for it, and I love the models that are coming out. Like, if anything, I will at least continue to be pleased with it because of just the miniatures that they're coming out with. Because those new Tyranids look sick, and I want them. Here we go. being kind of delicate here because it's a little flatter and more flush to in line with the other colors, and I just really don't want to overdo it. There we go. It's almost complete. This is like the classic, like this song that's playing right now on this lo-fi station is the, in my opinion, classic lo-fi Star Wars song. Like this, like, very soft piano version of the main theme. Love it. It just keeps me so chill. You know, might be one of the other reasons that David actually was falling asleep. This could definitely put somebody to sleep. I could see it. Dude, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. Ooh, and even some wargaming stuff. Kind of honestly sounds like, there's a store near where I live called Legends. And they do games, toys, and other collectibles. And it's really, like, I really like it. It's a chain in California, I think. I don't know if it's a chain outside of California. But kind of reminds me of that, which is really cool. Missed a little bit of... Ooh, it would help if I stayed on screen. There we go. Okay. I saw a great comic, by the way. It's just speaking of, like, Star Wars things, because my brain was thinking about it. Saw a great comic on Twitter that was Anakin, like Clone Wars Anakin, leaning in and asking Padme how the most beautiful person in the world was doing. And before she actually gets to respond, Obi-Wan Kenobi, who's sitting, like, next to them, responds with, "I'm doing great, thank you for asking." And it was just... his expression was perfect. Oh, that's, like, old Warhammer Fantasy? Like, that's fucking cool. If you had old Warhammer Fantasy in, that would be amazing. God, I'm so excited for the old world returning, actually seeing those Bretonnians and Tomb Kings. Ah! It's gonna be so good. Holy Omnissiah, good evening to you, sir. You just popped in. Oh, I just popped into my YouTube recommends. Well, thank you, sir. Well, I'm glad that you decided to follow and subscribe and all of that stuff. Thank you very, very much. Or actually, I you know what? I'm putting words into your mouth. I misread that you said that you were subscribing. But let me answer your question, because you asked what my favorite Star Wars faction is. It's probably the Rebels, but specifically the Rebels from Rebels. Phoenix, yes, specifically Phoenix Squadron.
Not Ball?
Well, faction.
Ball's Syndicate?
I mean, the Shadow Collective is up there as well. The problem is unlike, say, the Phoenix Squadron, the Shadow Collective is only, like, under Maul's command. Seems to only last for a very, 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 very actually short period of time. And I'm really sad by that, because I loved him in charge of the Shadow Collective. He was such a badass. I thought it was so hot. But no, they didn't let him do that. Palpatine had to come in and be like, "I'm gonna kick your ass because you're my rival now." And then he killed Savage. Makes me so mad. But Maul is my favorite character. I don't know if the Shadow Collective is specifically my favorite faction. But in regards to factions, I really, really love Phoenix Squadron. Ezra took a while to grow on me, just because kid character, and sometimes they're obnoxious when they first get introduced. But as he aged, he really grew on me, and I'm very excited to see what they do with him in Ahsoka. I love Sabine. I thought she was always amazing. Kanan is up there as one of my all-time favorite Jedis. And then Hera's just amazing. And then Chopper, I'm not going to say that I don't love him because he might murder me if I didn't. But Chopper is seriously one of the best droids out there. So just in the entire group of them, top notch, love it. Their adventures were fantastic. So I really, really like it. What do I think the Lion and Gilliman are going to say to each other? They'll probably be courteous to each other at the very beginning, you know, polite hellos, checking in to see how they're doing. And then I assume that one or the other will chastise one or the other. Like, I don't really remember the Lion and Gilliman necessarily being the bestest of buds and always agreeing when it came to everything that they were trying to do. And I have not actually read specifically the lore for the Lion coming back. Like, I know he's been forest walking and such, but I haven't like looked to see what that specifically is, because it just honestly sounds silly. I like this, but I don't know how other people feel about it, and I don't know how deep they're taking it, but it really feels like they're taking Dark Angels a little bit druidic. Did I say that right? Like, they're making them druids. Druidic. So it makes them feel like they're going a little bit druidic, and I like that, but I don't know. But I have no idea what they would actually say to each other other than probably being, like, very polite, but biting towards one another, because I don't think they get along. Also, James, you're absolutely right. I did completely forget Zeb, and Zeb is also fantastic. He looked amazing in The Mandalorian. I was so pleased to see that cameo, and I really hope that he's back in Ahsoka, at least, like, at some point. But I don't know, like, if they've actually separated ways. I can't remember with the end of Rebels, like, I know everybody parted to some level, but I don't remember, like, explicitly how that all happened. Rogue Squadron is cool. Now, which Rogue Squadron are you talking about? Because I know there's a Rogue Squadron in the EU, as well as, like, an official Rogue Squadron. So, which one are you talking about specifically? Also, I just found some sections that I did not paint in yellow, so we're going to correct that right now. There. I was wondering why that was kind of looking a little strange to me, and it's because there was a big white patch on the interior edge of his outfit, which is unacceptable. It's gonna brighten that up a little bit, or deepen, I guess, that a little bit. Same thing on this side. It's looking a little anemic in color. There we go. Okay, now, one thing I need to check on my reference. I believe the part that I left unpainted underneath the shoulders is actually supposed to be purple. So I'm gonna grab my Luxian purple real quick and do that. Rogue Squadron, anything, you're just like, all of it. I love all of it. You know what, I can respect that. I need purple. Luxian purple. I found it. Thrawn is also going to be awesome. Holy shit, yes. Thrawn is going to be amazing. I need to read it. I do.
I have to sort this out on my own. Without the council. And without you.
I need to read the entire, like, that 3-part book series where Thrawn was originally introduced. And then they redid, like, they did 3 more books, right? I think with him. Like, very specifically. But I can't remember now. Okay. I really hope that this does not get on the yellow.
This isn't about you.
Do, 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 do.
Can't stay here any longer.
It's okay, Ahsoka. You can leave.
Not now.
Such a like sad moment in the show, but also really powerful. Like genuinely. Oh, I forgot some yellow there. It's fine. We'll go back to it. This is my way. I'll paint something, think I'm done with the color, and go, oh, nope, never mind, I need that color still. Just kidding. Okay, there we go. That looks better. I'm feeling pretty confident with that. We are getting close to this particular dude finally being finished. You have all the Thrawn books? Very, very nice. Which one's your favorite? Like, do you prefer the first trilogy of novels or the second trilogy of novels? Dude, I haven't thought about the GameCube in like... Well, actually, I thought about it like a week ago. Because we've been talking about Resident Evil 4, and I've played Resident Evil 4 originally on the GameCube. Is that true? I think I did. It was either that or the... I think it was GameCube. I don't remember now. It's not important. Man, I missed the GameCube though. That thing was a beast in regards to just like durability. Do you guys remember the Nintendo SD? I think it was the one that folded into just like a square brick. That thing was an absolute monster of a machine. I have a funny story for you guys. So I had one of those. I was visiting some family up in like the New England area of the US during the holiday season. And where they were living, it snowed a butt ton. And I was a dumb kid. I had that system. Nice little silver brick. And I had whatever the most current Pokemon was in it because I ate Pokemon games like candy back when I was a kid. And it was just... So the point of the story is we had it out there. It was wintertime. There was snow, packed ice, lots and lots of snow. I dropped the damn thing outside. It got ran over by a truck, like a heavy truck, and then was frozen in the ground for a couple hours while we were out. And then thankfully I found it when we got back home, which was a humongous relief. And it still worked. It still worked. That was the beautiful thing about it. It was perfectly functionable, had no damage to it. It just took all of that like a champ and worked totally fine. And I was so glad because I was devastated because I thought I had lost it. Like my game was ruined because I lost the game. It was in the thing at the same time. And I had lost the console itself or the handheld. It was just terrible. You know, I never had any of the Nokia phones, so I don't remember gaming with them. But I can imagine that they could have been an absolute, like, chonky monster like the SD was. James, Ahsoka is an absolutely kick-ass character. She's been amazing, like, even when she was kind of obnoxious, like, it all felt very intentional. And, I mean, they've said that they did her obnoxiously, and I'm inclined to believe them for the most part. Like, I do think that you know, can intentionally do that with a character with knowing that you're going to do specific things narratively with her to make her mature and really drive audiences into enjoying that character. And I think they nailed it with Ahsoka, and I do think some of it was planned. I just don't know if, like, all of it was expected to be as exceptionally well done as they actually achieved it, which is just great. Oh, really? You felt shortchanged after the first 3 books? I've always heard nothing but really positive things about them, so that's kind of surprising to me. But I mean, I can understand it if you felt like shortchanged, that in the sense that you like didn't get a proper conclusion, or you were wanting more and just didn't get it, because there was definitely that problem with Star Wars back in the day when you know, Lucas didn't know if he was going to be doing more, and then, you know, finally decided, oh, I guess I will do it. I just found a little bit more purple that I kind of missed, so I want to see if I can... you know what? I'm not going to make that purple. I'm going to actually touch that with the yellow. I think that is a better choice. I think the purple will make it a little too dark. All right, where was that? There it is. Let's go. There we go. That looks a little bit better. I knew there was going to be something on that section of, like, that strip of yellow that I had missed. Everything else is looking good. I'm not really seeing any spots, so let's get this right here. And then I actually think I need to attempt to clean up some of the lines in the interior of his outfit, because I think those are actually supposed to be gold as well. We'll see how successful I am with them. Or with that, I guess. I am not hyper confident, but I'm gonna try. Also, that could probably do with a little bit more color to it. Okay. Okay, so that is done. I need to now pull out an even tinier brush. What brush am I going to use? Rex, your head is in my way. Please move and be careful of Kanan, because something's already fallen on him and damaged his lightsaber in him. So, you guys know the, here, I'm actually going to zoom out real quick. So you guys know the Star Wars, like, alcove that I have in the hallway that leads into the hobby room. I've showed it in the studio tour. If you've not seen that, after the stream is over, you can go watch it. So I had a Kanan action figure, or a Kanan statue in there, and I have a bunch of my Black Series Star Wars action figures on the wall. Well, unfortunately, Wrecker decided that he was tired of being on the wall, and he just leapt down onto the floor. And in the process, he hit my Kanan figure, and he bent the Kanan, like, lightsaber. Let's see, can you guys see that? It might be slightly hard to see because it's slightly transparent. But basically, the tip of the lightsaber that actually inserts into the Kanan action figure, or the little statue that I have, which is here, it's bent now. And it doesn't go in properly. So I'm hoping that I can use some hot water when next time I boil something, and flatten it back out so that it could be straight and slide back in. But otherwise, I need to find something else to do, because I don't want him to not have his lightsaber. But I also don't want to buy a brand new one. Because he wasn't exactly a cheap statue. But I was really sad when that happened. Because I saw a Wrecker and I was like, oh, this sucks. He fell off the wall. Like, is the box damaged? Because he's in his box still. It was fine. It was totally fine. But, and then we noticed Kanan, and I was like, oh, fuck. And I was really sad. I think I vaguely remember the name Shadows of the Empire, but I never played them. I don't have a kettle, specifically. Because I assume I could probably use the kettle to boil some water and then use that. I'm just gonna boil like a small pot of water and do that way. Kind of like what I do with my Reaper miniatures. That's at least my plan. But we'll see how it works out, you know? Also, I'm really sorry. I feel like I've been saying a lot tonight. And I don't know why. Probably because I'm tired. Okay. I was working on cleaning up that tiny strip. I needed a super tiny brush with a long bristles. I think I'm going to try this Tamiya brush. I think this might work pretty well. I'm going to get some white paint back out. Oh, use the steam to bend hockey stick blades. Damn. I didn't know that, like, Are hockey stick blades not... I was imagining them being thicker than, like, maybe that would work, but that's really cool. I'll have to try that. Yeah, using the steam might be a great idea. I know the, like, Reaper miniatures, you can actually just, like, dunk in the hot water and help, you know, reactivate it. I need to look and see if I can do some research of what that's made of to make sure it's not going to damage it. Like, the heat won't damage the plastic, but I'm hoping I can fix it. What did I do for a job before Hobby Night, asks the Bobbins. Well, the Bobbins, I worked at... I've done a couple of different things before Hobby Night, but the main thing that I did prior to it, I'm going to also zoom myself back in real quick, is that I worked at a board game shop and sold board games for a living. I also went to art college, which has kind of inspired me to... Well, the college didn't inspire me to do this, but my background in art inspired me to want to also build this channel up and everything. But the main thing that I did prior to this was working for a board game store. And I actually started Hobby Night while I was at the board game store. They were very supportive, thankfully. Which was great, because it really helped me get started. And I liked that job a lot. Moved away, though. Didn't really work out, and I took the YouTube stuff full time, and I really could not keep... I was their inventory manager, so I did all of their buying. And it was a lot of work for me to both be processing and doing, like, reporting on, like, Warhammer news and all of that stuff, while also trying to manage a inventory for a store that had, like, 2,000 square feet or something like that. It was a huge store. Like, this was a massive store. We had a huge play area, and we had tens of thousands of SKUs in that store. Because of just the sheer volume of product and how long they had been going. Like, this store had been around for 40 years. They actually, either last year or the year before, hit their 40th anniversary. Which is freaking impressive. I think they're one of the longest, like, board game stores, like, to be in continuous operation in the US. I'm not 100% certain about that, but I think that is accurate. Which is really, really cool. And that's what I did. It was a lot of fun, but I just couldn't keep doing both. It was too much work. So I chose YouTube. And it's been working out for me, thankfully. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, okay. Well, if the blade is plastic, that makes total sense that you'd be able to... Like, I was imagining... I don't know why, but I was, like, imagining, like, a wood hockey stick or something being bent back into shape. And I was like, I mean, I feel like that's doable, but I'm impressed. Holy shit. I mean, I'm still impressed that it worked and you could do it and probably, like, save the life of your hockey stick and, like, save yourself the money. But it's just not something I would have thought of. Alright, I'm gonna... Darth Maul! Are you harassing either Ezra or Ahsoka? Okay. I think that looks good. Now we need to switch over to the yellow after this is dried. In the meantime, actually, let's go ahead and we'll still be working on the yellow, but we're going to work on this guy as yellow first while that dries, because I don't want to accidentally smear that white that I just put down and end up getting it into my purples. So let's get some more of our iron jaws onto our palette. And we will start. Just double checking my reference. I am a fool. His arms are supposed to be black as well. You know what? There's no gold on that, so we can do that afterwards. It'll be fine. I didn't finish cleaning him up, though. I am still a fool. Let's get this white paint. Thankfully, I have white paint already out. Because I remembered I did all this black work and didn't actually clean it up. There we go. That looks good. Or better. At least. that. It's a little bit there. Oh my god, his voice is so good. It is the chosen one. Maul, it's okay. There we go. That's better. That's looking cleaner. Do that a couple times because it's going to be kind of pale because it's white over black, but it's fine. I keep noticing so many sections where I'm like, oh, I need to clean that up. Oh, I need to clean that up. I did a terrible job on this boy. It's okay, we'll fix it now. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Although my hand is cramping a little bit. There's a little bit of black there. You've fixed a few lightsabers with a paintbrush handle. Just make sure you pick one with the least amount of bubbles in it or it'll drive you crazy. James, I don't understand. What do you mean that you fixed it with a paintbrush handle? Like, are you meaning you've gotten a translucent blue paintbrush handle and used that as a lightsaber? Is that what you mean? Nice! The Gaunt's Ghost audibles, audiobooks. I've heard great things about the Gaunt's Ghosts books. That's not one that I've read. I've read very few Warhammer novels. I've gotten a couple of the Horus Heresy books, specifically, like the first... I think I've read the first 5, and then I jumped forward from there, I believe. But I haven't really gone too much deeper than that. And then I did read... or listen to, I guess. I haven't really read any of them. I've listened to them as audiobooks. I think I listened to the... What was the trilogy of novels that came out that was set more modernly that ended up getting retconned by Games Workshop because it involved, like... It was the Death Guard and Ultramarine stuff. And, like, they ended up doing some sort of, like, retconning on something. I can't remember now what, but I've read those. Or at least the first 2 of those. I don't think I finished it. But yeah, like Dawnfire or something? Something like that. I can't remember now. But you guys probably know. Okay, so I was understanding correctly, James. I will have to look into that. That might be an option. I mean, thankfully, the lightsaber itself on Kanan is not damaged. It's just the connection point. Because see how it's slightly bent? So I'm really hoping that because it's so minor, I can just heat it up and bend it back into place. Because it itself is fine. It must have hit, like, he must have smacked him right at the hilt to bend it like that. Because, like, everything else is totally fine on the model. Nothing else broke. He still looks amazing. It's just that one little section. Just such a bummer. Because he's a limited edition thing, too. He's not like, he's not super easy to find again. I'm pretty sure I probably could if I had to buy another one. Yeah, Dark Imperium. Thank you, Supersonic. It was the Dark Imperium, like, stuff. That's what I was reading. There's still a little bit of gray on his face, which is unacceptable. Like holding it up to my face and being like, they don't need to see it, it's fine. That's right. They did do some stuff with, like, tying it into the Indomitus Crusade and everything. Alright, I think that looks better, but I did leave this entire giant section just painted gray when it shouldn't be. Because I end up having so many bright lights around me when I'm painting, occasionally they like blind me and not allow me, like when I'm looking at white on my model, I can't see it. Like I can see it, but like it blows out a little bit. And I lose focus. He wasn't weak. No. Rude. Oh, yes, the Caiaphas Cain stuff. I have heard nothing but hilarious things about some of that. Just because of, you know, his personality and everything. I remember the great... Was it a song or like little like spoof thing that No, how's his name pronounced? The guy that does text-to-speech. I have now completely blanked on how to properly pronounce his name. Alpha Bruva. Is it Bruva? Bruza? Okay. Alpha Bruza, like, he did a great thing with Caiaphas Cain and another character, and they had, like, this great moment. So it was... That's the only thing I actually know about him in that song. Which is kind of hilarious to me. I love characters like that, where they just end up being so just well-loved by the community that so much fan nonsense comes out about the ridiculousness of their, like, actual lore that it just becomes so much more from it. I just got some white where I don't want it. Hold on. Shoot. There we go. Fixed it. Okay. That is looking decent. I feel like maybe I can move on. Okay, we are in fact going to move on. I'm gonna move back over to our other boy while the white on that dries, because we have a tiny, tiny bit of yellow to do. So let's take care of that. Wish me luck. I'm going in. It's working. It's just taking a little bit of time because I'm going slow. I'm going slow. Hello there, Hari. How are you today, sir? I think I can see a little bit better from this angle. Yeah, that's good. And then we'll do a little bit in there. There we go. I think that reads all right. Yeah, I think that reads okay. I'm gonna look at it for a little while longer, like afterwards, and see if I still really like it. But overall, I am feeling pretty satisfied. So I'm gonna set him down. You should have some areas that are fine for me to work on. Yeah, like this back belt area. Let's grab some fresh paint because the other stuff is getting a little dry. I am doing very well, sir. I hope you are today as well. Having a good time, just working on some of my Star Wars miniatures, hanging out with everybody. Oh yeah, does he remind you of Piccolo a little bit? Is that why? Or the Namekians? Or the Namekians, I guess, rather, is how it's pronounced. Yeah, no, they are, man, I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in a little while. I am on screen. Good. Let's check and make sure that this entirety of this dude's face, please let me log into my phone. Maybe. If I can remember my passcode. There we go. There we go. Okay. The belt is not, but the trim is. So, and the face entirely is. So let's go ahead and... I'm going to do the trim first because I got the smaller brush. Fuck, I didn't finish cleaning that up. Just kidding! Abort! 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 That has a ridiculous amount of gray paint on it still. So we're just gonna come in and we're gonna fix that. Maybe if my paintbrush could actually dampen this paint. Good lord. Thank you. This is, so one of my actual frustrations and one of the reasons I don't end up using these really like thin tipped brushes very often is because I feel like they just don't always hold that much water. And it bothers me because it's kind of necessary when you're working with contrast paint. But then there are other times where they are just incredibly useful. So I'm not going to completely knock them. I'm just saying that sometimes... God, I did a terrible job on this. I'm realizing. As soon as I put the yellow paint on, I was like, oh, that's how much gray is still on this section. Good lord. Just going to fix it all. We're just going to go back over everything and we'll correct this. It'll be fine. Good morning, Okami! How are you doing today, sir? Also, Okami, which of the new Star Wars Lego sets did you buy? Because I bought a lot of them. 4 different orders, so I could get 4 sets of all of the, Did I say 4 or 3? Was it 4?
What?
It was 4 or 3 sets of orders that we did.
No, it's worth 3.
3 sets. I did 3 sets to get 3 sets of all the promos. Because I need them for reasons. Nice. I've never worked with modeling specific paints. I'm curious what actually makes them different from just standard, like Citadel paints, for example. Alright, I'm going into his face. We're doing it. Okay, it's looking good so far. Looking good so far. Let's get to the top of the head. This section on his head especially, like this guy is going to get a lot of the ripening flesh shade to help mute this yellow and make it look a bit more gold. But I am really enjoying some of the boldness of this color next to some of these more muted tones, you know? It is kind of fun. That's my MO, though. I like bright, bold colors. I really am pleased with how this is turning out. I don't know if I'm going to end up painting an R2-D2 and C-3PO. They don't really fit in with my Shadow Collective units. They wouldn't be ones that I could run, but I don't actually even know. I'm actually trying to think, are they support units at all in the game? Because I don't, like, they're not exactly combat units. So I'm not really sure if they would have made it into Legion. And now that I think about it, I'm actually not sure if I've seen them. Like, even as, like, with sets where, you know, Luke or Anakin show up. Which is where I would have thought you may at least to see, like, R2-D2. Let alone C-3PO. But, I'm not really sure. I'll admit, most of the droids in the shows, I'm not the most fond of. Like, I like the droids, don't get me wrong. But C-3PO specifically is a little annoying to me sometimes. Although I do love his relationship with R2-D2. They do work as a pair incredibly well. Okay, listen, I'll admit I just got past and sort of skipped some of them because I was just like, I don't care about these droid episodes of the Clone Wars, so I'm a little bit biased against them. Is he in the X-Wing fighter? Well, but for Legion, do they have an X-Wing fighter? Oh yeah, the Army Painter speed paints are very nice, James. Absolutely. And I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on that new set that's coming out with their updated formula. Absolutely. They're also cheaper than Games Workshop's Citadel stuff, which is very nice. Because art supplies can get expensive, as I'm sure all of you know. Okay, that side looks good. Let's keep moving on to the other side. Nice. Which is your favorite droid? And I guess who is your, also, consequently, who is your favorite pilot? I didn't get the UCS X-Wing. That one I did not pick up. I didn't really care, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I have the playset scale for the X-Wing, and I'm perfectly satisfied with that. I don't need anything more complicated than that. And honestly, I wasn't super impressed with it the way that I was, like, seeing it portrayed in, like, videos and stuff of people who'd gotten it for, like, review copies and such. So, not super worried about that one. Oh, well, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course he was in the movies and everything. I thought you were talking about him being in Legion. Wedge is a great pilot. Doesn't he have a pretty, like, impressive history post the war and everything? Or, I guess not post the war, but, like, post the movies in the EU, if I remember correctly. Like, because he survives and ends up becoming leader of Rogue One or something like that, doesn't he? Or am I misremembering Wedge's character? Because I thought he was one of the X-Wing pilots that was with Luke during the run when they were blowing up the Death Star in Episode 4. And he, like, he got, his fighter got damaged, and instead of sticking around and dying, like a lot of them did, he, like, peaced out and backed off so that he was able to live. Ended up surviving that battle, as opposed to Biggs, I think, which was, like, Luke's friend that they had run back into when he got there at the rebellion, so it's at least what I remember from watching it the other day. Because literally, I watched it the other day. I was like, I haven't watched this in like 15 years, I'm gonna do it. Okay. Oh, Red Squadron. Okay. Not Rogue Squadron, though. Understood. Oh, okay. No, you did mean Rogue Squadron. Okay, cool. Good. I was like, wait, Red Squadron? What's this squadron? I don't know that one. But yes, he commanded Rogue Squadron. Awesome. That's what I thought. That's what I thought I remembered being told.
Both exist. Red Squadron is Luke's squadron attacking the Death Star in A New Hope. Rogue Squadron is...
That's why...
I think the squadron at the end of Return of the Jedi, but also the big expanded universe squadron.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's cool. Nice. Oh, I can imagine it probably does go into a greater explanation as to, like, why he left the battle, etc. I mean, I think it was a smart thing to do. Like, definitely no complaints from me to him for doing that, because he should have. Like, it seemed like the smart thing. Why not save your pilots, who are talented and know what the hell they're doing, and make them, you know, live longer so that they can continue to harass the Empire post this, because you know sure as shit they're gonna have to. It's not just gonna end here, despite what everybody thinks, because it never ends. War never ends, and it never changes. There we go, that's looking good. Holy shit, I didn't realize it was almost 3 o'clock already. Man. Well, that's fine. We've been having a lot of fun. Maybe get some of this gold section done and then call it for the day. Oh, did I? Oh. Hold on, one of my lights just turned off. I forgot to plug it in. Oops. Go. And bam. There we go. I fixed it. Everything's fine. Oh, well that, I mean, that makes sense. He took a bad shot. Had to leave.
Do or do not. There is no try.
You know, it was something that, I can't remember if I was watching, like, Generation Tech. I think it was. I think I was watching Generation Tech. And he was talking about how, like, so, obviously, I was not alive when Star Wars first came out. So I didn't see it until I was much older. I mean, I guess I probably would have been maybe the same age as some people who may have seen it when they first, like, when it first came out, but I was in my, like, preteen age, I think, like that. Possibly, maybe a little younger, but that's when I first watched Star Wars. And it was always weird to me that it started with episode 4, then went to 5 and 6, and then they decided to do the prequels. And that was very strange. The fact that, like, Lucas actually planned it and just really set up so much. But there was such a gap between when he released 4, 5, and 6 and then 1, 2, and 3 that I understand better now the people who are really pure fans of the original series or the original movies, because for the longest time that was all they had. And rewatching episode 4 made me go, wow, he really did drop so many hints to things to come. But it's also a really weird choice because you're presenting a very popular, iconic archetype in your universe, the Jedi, with simply 3 Jedis. Then to introduce a slew of them in your prequel stuff where they are very, very different from how they behave and act and how the philosophy is approached in like the original trilogy. And it's fascinating to me how that developed and grew and turned into what it is now. Because it's just very cool. Not something that I really realized until very recently. Did you go see it when you were that young? Or did you see it much later, Okami? Because, like, I have no concept of, like, parents. Would they have brought their kids to Star Wars, like, that young back in the day? Or is that something that, like, you watched it later when you were, like, 10 or something? Ah, were they weren't numbered. Okay. It still seems like kind of an odd place to start in the story, though, even without the numbering. Because it's at a point where, you know, your Jedi, your most popular characters, are kind of on their downfall. Like, or have been in their decline. And there's so few of them left. Except that now they've actually set themselves up to have a lot more Force users running around out there. And I'm going to be curious how they tie that into the Rey is the last Jedi. Because they said that recently in like a trailer or something like that. Like I think they're sticking to that. Which I'm okay with. Because if you think about it, if you think about the characters who would potentially still be alive when Rey is around, people like Ahsoka or Ezra or various other Force users, they're not necessarily Jedi in the way that, you know, you would classically describe a Jedi. They are good Force users. They don't actively use the dark side, but they're not necessarily Jedi. And I'm curious, like, if that's where they're going to end up going with that line and have it be, oh no, we've got Ahsoka, but she's a gray. Or we've got Ezra and he's also a gray, but he's a gray that leans a little bit towards brown because he's actually a nature guy and he communes with all of the animals because that's sort of his jam in Rebels. And I'm intrigued to see where Disney takes it. Got it. So in 2023 is when you first saw them. Okay, so you also saw it when you were like 6 and everything. So still quite young, but probably like able to sort of grok what the hell was going on, even if you didn't get the more political nuances.
Show me the one whose safety deems such destruction.
I do love the Mandalorian soundtrack. It is so good. I mean, Star Wars just in general has a fantastic soundtrack, but damn, every time the song comes on.
This is the way.
Yes, Bo, it is. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't Bo actually. That was the armorer speaking there. Just kidding. Okay, got some nice yellow there. I think that is looking good. Do you have any other yellow on your uniform, sir? Not really. Okay. Cool. We're going to let him dry, and I'm going to bring this guy back in, and we're going to do a little bit of Reikland's Flesh Shade on him first, before we move on to the last guy, and that'll probably be the last thing that we do for the stream. But hey, I almost got these guys finished, which means that, like, off camera, I can wrap them up, and we can work on something else next time. Okay, I need to lean over here real quick. Where is my Seraphim Sepia? Advert Earthshade. Rack, I need a sneeze. Are you? Yes. My nose, it tingles. Oh, I hate when that happens. Like when you get a really tingly, like you kind of feel like you need a sneeze, but you can't. Sucks. Nice. Star Trek is really cool. Totally different type of sci-fi. Mostly because I don't know. Like, question to the chat. Do you think Star Wars is more sci-fi or fantasy? I'm curious. This is looking really nice. I'm just being kind of delicate. And then let's do the front. That's better. Yeah, that's looking a lot more goldish. It stands out. I'm actually gonna do, is it on his, yeah, this on this in the middle here is also meant to be a bit more actual gold. So let's do some shading there. And then I think I might actually use a little tiny bit of rattling, or not rattling grime, Nuln Oil on the gray here, because I kind of want to pop that a bit more. That is a bit too much, little overdid it. There we go. Just doing a little bit of touch up on the edges here. There we go. Okay, I am pleased with that. Now the robes actually stand out, I think, very well against that headdress that he's got. And even that thing on his chest stands out a bit more because you see a little bit of that sort of brownish warmth that's coming through. I'm really, really happy with that. I do think that gray needs to be enhanced though. It's looking a little too anemic to me. Null oil. Oh, sorry, I bumped the camera. Hopefully. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Okay, I fixed it. You know, I would consider it both as well, but which do you think it is more? Fantasy or sci-fi? Like... Okay, you all are just gonna tell me that it's sci-fi fantasy. Fine, I accept. You don't want to choose one or the other. You just want to say it's both because it's both. I get that. I get that. I understand. You know what, Okami? I like your answer though. It is a mix of westerns and samurai as well. Totally. At least, especially modernly. Like I feel like for a little while, like maybe in the Clone Wars, the movies. Little less that, but definitely the modern television shows and the OG stuff, 100%. All right, let's go ahead and put a little bit of Nuln Oil in here. Yeah, that is better. It was so pale, and it was looking a little too... It wasn't looking metallic enough.
I'm right.
But I am immediately liking this side more than I'm liking this side. It just looks slicker to me. All right, let's keep going. Almost done. Just need a tiny bit more paint. Alright, and then let's make sure we do it on the back side so that it's consistent. We want to make sure we're even and not leaving anything. There we go. Lovely. Oop. Lovely if I didn't wildly go off screen. There. That is looking a lot better. I'm going to do a tiny, tiny amount in his hair just to deepen that a smidge. Yeah, that looks so much nicer. Let's go this way so we don't accidentally get black on the gold. Okay. Looking lovely. I'm actually going to do... I'm going to do a little bit on his chest too, where we put some black paint previously. This will help just deepen it a bit more. Just want those recesses to really kind of pop. Because he has some nice, like, patterns on this shirt. Besides, I am also one of those people that fully believes a wash can really make or break a model. And in this case, I think it's making it. I'm gonna fix up the interior, I think, a little bit. When I glance at it, it looks a little sloppy, but maybe it's just the distance I'm looking at it. That I am feeling very happy with. So I'm gonna set him aside, pull out our other lad, and start applying some washes to him. Now, there's a tiny section on his helmet. I don't know if you guys can see it super well. But it's like right there. It's right next to that edge. And it's still a little bit gray showing up. But I'm going to hope that the Reikland Flesh Shade will blend it and make it a little less obtrusive. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And here we go. It's made it less intrusive. I don't need to redo anything. That is why I love a wash. It helps blend so much. Is the trim actually gold? Holy shit, phone, please. Nope, that is not my passcode. Oh my god. 79. Nope. All right. 7777777779999. Yes, it is gold. I can do this on everything. All right. That looks good, I think. Do I like it? Who knows? You own them, but you're not sure where they are. You have a spare? You have a spare, Zeb and Hera? How do you have a spare one? Where are your first ones? Do you actually have extra copies? I'm so jealous. Dude, I have a lot of Battletech minis that I need to paint. I understand that completely. Is it from one of the starter sets that you got, Okami, or is it something else? I'm just doing this very thin because I really like the antiqued bronzy gold that this is getting me. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Keep moving the paint. Don't let it be too blotchy. There we go. I like that a little bit better. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Don't let it dry too much. It's always what I'm worried about. Doing something and then letting it dry too much and then not being able to correct it. I mean, I can always correct it. You can always repaint stuff, right? But, you know, not always the best. I keep also leaning slightly. Let me... Is that better? Oh, but you can see the camera then. Whoop. There we go. I'll just scoot this way more and then maybe not lean so much. How's that? That is actually better. Ah, you grabbed 2 of the ghosts when it came out. Well... Curse you, I have none of them. That's on my, like, bucket list of things to grab. Is the OG Ghost set. That would be so cool to own. I'm very happy with, I think, how that's looking. Although we do need a little bit more of a wash, because you can really tell. You can really tell the difference between what I've washed and what I haven't. It's distinct. All right, let's go. This is going super, super smoothly though. Okay, I'm happy with that. One last shoulder, and then we are going to wrap it up for the evening. You know, I just realized I could do some interesting, like, gradations with this wash and this yellow because of how distinctly yellow the paint is, and the wash makes it a much more coppery orange color, which is why I like using it so much as a non-metallic sort of metal finish on it. But I just realized, like, how cool of sort of a, not a wet blend, but just a weird gradation that I could put using the wash and thinning that over top some of these colors. That may be something fun to experiment with. I'm actually really happy with how that turned out, and I also really like how this turned out, because now his yellow... Let's see, can I get them to focus a bit more? There we go. So his yellow ends up being a lot more fabric-like looking than what he has, which is meant to be more metal looking, and I really, really like the effect. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today during this painting session. I hope you have enjoyed this. Everybody who was active in chat, you guys are the best as always. Everybody who was lurking, thank you for hanging out and just being here to chill with me while I paint some stuff and listen to me gab, because I find that really enjoyable, and I hope you guys do too. Next, let's see. What do we got coming up? Tomorrow is Wednesday, so we'll have another pro wrestling themed podcast thingamadoodle for you, live stream, starting tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're into pro wrestling, you want to catch up on Chaos Cultist Design's thoughts on the latest AEW episode, then make sure to stop by for that. Otherwise, on Friday, we do have a standard video scheduled for you. We have a brand new, honestly, I went on a shopping blog and bought a bunch of things. So I'm excited to share that with you. We have a grand opening that we went to, so it should be really exciting. I hope you guys are looking forward to that. And then on Saturday, we'll be back with another live stream featuring, I haven't decided yet what I'm playing because I wrapped up Resident Evil 4, but we'll be playing something new. So you can be expecting that as well. Anyways, I am going to go ahead and get off, grab myself another drink, get ready for dinner. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening and an even better hobby night. I have been Angela, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.